Well, I want to make a quick video for you today about why, if you're struggling with romantic relationships, if you're trying to quote unquote manifest a specific person back, or a certain person or special person, why that's unlikely to happen. And at the same time, and this is the most important point, why that's okay and actually a good thing. If you don't know who I am, my name's Tim Grimes. I've written multiple books about manifestation concepts and integrating them in a healthy, holistic way that is psychologically based and spiritually grounded, which is very, very different than most of, the law of assumption and law of attraction community, their approach towards this stuff. You can get a free copy of one of my books below in the description if you're interested in that, or set up a free short consultation. Links to all my books are in the description as well. I've done a lot of relationship coaching over the years, and about a year ago, my friend Marvin Daniels and I started doing this joint, quote-unquote, SP relationship coaching together, SP standing for specific person. And most people who get into, law of attraction, law of assumption type of concepts, I would say the majority of people who get into these concepts these days, at least the law of assumption space, and they find out about Neville Goddard and the law of assumption because they're interested in manifesting somebody back. Believe it or not, that might be like the majority of people, how they get into this stuff, which is crazy. Because Neville was not a relationship teacher by any means, except the relationship you have with yourself. But Neville didn't really give good relationship advice, because that's not what he did, right? Nonetheless, Neville's been popularized so much that, most of the people, I would say, who come into this stuff, the majority of people come into it through this, like, I want to manifest my partner back, my boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife back. I've lost them and I want them back. So, the relationship coaching I've done and counseling I've done over the course of a decade plus really didn't center upon that stuff until about a year ago, when Marvin and I started working together. And you can still work with Marvin and I. We used to offer group programs. We're not doing that anymore. If you want to work with Marvin and I just have to be honest. We're the best people in the space, and we're very, very expensive. So if you want to work with both of us, you have to realize that if you want to really fix your relationship in this deep way and have serious coaching, it's going to cost you thousands of dollars. And if you think thousands of dollars is a lot of money to change your relationship with yourself and with your romantic partner, if you think that's a lot of money and you live in the Western world, you're fucking crazy. But for those of you who are not interested in that high level, high investment, I still am offering some coaching just with me on this subject. But what you need to understand are two things. The first thing you have to understand is that the real specific person, the real SP, is always you. You are the real SP. You are the specific person you want to manifest, not that guy or gal out there. You think it's about them, you think it's about getting them back or getting them into your life somehow, and then you'll be happy, and you're fucking wrong. It's about you. It's about you. It's about recognizing your self-worth, your self-love, your self-goodness, and naturally see your world change. See your relationships with your family, your friends, your romantic partner change by realizing that you are the specific person you want. Only, of course, right? Of course, that's the reality of it. Of course, that's what Neville was really getting at with all this self-concept talk. Or great law of attraction type of teachers like Joseph Murphy or Florence Scovel Shinn. Of course, that's what they were getting at. Change your conception of yourself, and the world around you changes. It's not the other way around. That's the first point you have to understand if you want to work with me. The second point is that you probably are not going to manifest that external romantic partner you want back into your life. Sorry. It's actually a good thing. Like I said, you're about to find out why if you don't already understand. But most of these, oh my gosh, I hesitate to even call them coaches because they're not real coaches, let alone, oh my God, counselors or whatever. Most of these SP coaches, quote unquote SP coaches, are saying, oh, you can get him back, you can get her back, just affirm or visualize or, do SATs or whatever. Oh, that's such garbage. Having, worked with, dozens and dozens of clients over the last year with Marvin on this subject, and having given, I think over 100 free consultations on, this subject, I can tell you very firmly that it's a small percentage of you who are going to manifest your quote unquote specific person, that external romantic partner you want, back into your life sustainably. Now, that doesn't mean you won't be able to get him or her back short term. Absolutely, you can do affirmations, you can do visualization, you can do whatever to bring that person back into your life short term. And that is really what I think a lot of these channels focus upon. But this is what they don't focus upon, and they're clueless about usually. You get them back short term. Then fucking what? It's going to be the same shit all over again, except probably worse. You affirm and bring them back. You think everything's solved? No, you're still fucked. Then you got to do the real work. Now your person's back. You actually have to deal with them. And here's the other thing. It can work to bring them back short term. You doing these techniques and this law of assumption advice, quote unquote law of assumption advice. It's really just a misinterpreted Neville advice, not what Neville really was getting at usually. It can work, but it still probably won't work. Even if you're robotically affirming or visualizing, it's still not going to work for the majority of you. Not even short term. You can be robotically affirming or doing SATs, and you're like, why isn't my person coming back? I'm watching all these YouTube videos and people are saying they're supposed to come back. It's because it doesn't fucking usually work. It sometimes works. That's where you hear the success stories. But the majority of the time, it does not work. I would say less than 20% of people who do all these SP techniques to get their partner back actually work. It actually works for them. Less than 20% of a success rate. Now, sustainably, getting them back long term. So it's like, not only did I manifest them, quote unquote, manifest them back into my life, but now we have a healthy relationship. We're working on building our relationship back, and we're going to stay together. We're going to get married, right? Or be long-term partners. The percentage of people that happens for in the SP community is less than 10%, easily. It's probably less than 5%. And here is why. Because if you're using a manifesting technique and just doing surface level shit like affirmations and not really doing the deep shadow work, and I know people talk about doing shadow work and somatic work in this community a little bit, but they're all fucking full of shit. Or at least not, or 9 out of 10 times they're full of shit because they're not doing the deep, the dark work, the underbelly. They're not actually working with the shadow, feeling through the shadow. Really working through that nervousness, that anxiety, that fear, that shame. If you don't do that and you just stick to affirmations or stick to visualization and you're very intellectual, very in your head about this shit, you have not changed your self-concept enough in order for your romantic partner to change, to stay. You haven't really changed, nor have they. You have to really change. And even if you really change, there's a very good chance that your romantic partner that you wanted to manifest back will not change. That's what Marvin and I have usually seen with the clients we've worked with together. We get people to change their self-concept. Because, you work with us, you have to do the work. And we are very supportive. And people get fucking really good results. You can watch some of the videos on my channel, the success stories or whatever. And I hate posting success stories because they can be very misleading. But if you watch some of the videos where you see us talking to our clients, you'll see that it's all somatic and shadow work. And what usually happens, this is successful SP self-concept work, guys. This is how it actually works. What usually happens is you do the deep work, you get more in touch with your fear, shame, why you feel this way towards romantic partners in general, why you feel this way towards your family or your parents. You get in touch with the deep stuff. You realize I am okay. I am an all right person. I am a good person. I love myself. Marvin often has people do Ho'oponopono, I love you. Please forgive me. Thank you. I'm sorry. Didn't say that necessarily in the right order. You can say it in whatever order you want. But that vibe of like, I'm a good person. Like, I'm sorry for my past sins, meaning missing of the mark. I mean well, I'm a good person. Please forgive me. I love you. Thank you. That kind of deep shadow work. Working with the shadow which is what I specialize in. I do real somatic work, you know. We say, you know, IFS, internal family systems, is a very popular therapeutic modality. So we say, you know, it's like IFS work, but it's really just, it's somatic work, which is what I've always done. You know, I realize I should be talking more about probably Eugene Gendlin, who wrote this great book called Focusing, because that's another great psychological explanation of what a lot of this feeling work is. You have to work with the feelings, okay? If you do that, if you work with the feelings, work with the quote-unquote shadow, change your self-concept, learn to forgive yourself, forgive others more, and realize you are a wonderful person and that other people are wonderful people, and love yourself more, then you have the potential of getting your partner back more easily. But this is the thing. This is what Marvin and I have seen with our clients. Maybe the partner comes back, the SP, quote-unquote, comes back, but you no longer want them because you realized that they are not a good fit. Because most people who are serious about this work, who like actually work with people like myself, have already done a fair amount of self-work on themselves. They're not the problem. It's their fucking partner who's the problem a lot of the time. And when they start to, when our clients, when, you know, my client starts to love themselves more, they realize, oh, wow, I can still love that other person, respect that other person, wish the best for that other person. But that partner, that romantic partner, is probably not the best romantic partner for me long term. And when they do that, holy cow, miraculously, another partner usually is manifested sooner than later. I just got an email the other day from someone who was doing a lot of grounding work. The focus was always on grounding. And they had this relationship issue that was on the back burner that we were talking about some. And it was like, oh, I think I'm okay with it. You know, she's gone. I'm fine with it. And then it was like, you know, we next session, it was like, you know what? I've realized I actually want her back. And the whole time I was like, just focus on grounding. Her being there or not being there is secondary. Focus on grounding. Focus. She's a great person, but just focus on grounding. What really feels right for you in terms of just being here right now, being grounded, working with your fear so that you're okay and you see past the fear and transcend the fear. And so this person kept on focusing on grounding, not on getting that person back, even though they had this sudden compulsion or urge to try to get this other person back. And was taking, by the way, action in the 3D to try to get them back. And when they took the action, it wasn't lining up. I said, don't worry about that. Just ground, right? And so I got an email the other day from this person, and they feel really grounded. They feel, you know, they say the last month or so has been, you know, wonderful. There's been a lot of surprising things happening. And guess what? Did they manifest their other person back? No, they met a new person. They said, oh, this is a new healthy relationship. I'm taking it slow, but this seems great. Because I've set boundaries and standards that perhaps I did not have before. That is the kind of shit that real SP work will do, guys. That is why I'm not ashamed to call myself an SP coach, even though I'm not really an SP coach. I'm a somatic and spiritual counselor. And the SP is always you. And if you want help, if you're serious, I'm glad to help you. You know, like I said, I'll chat with you for 20 minutes, see if I can, you know, get deeper with you and if you want coaching. But you got to get away from all the sensationalistic bullshit on these SP channels saying, oh, you're going to manifest your partner back, da-da-da. Most of you are not. There's nothing wrong with you. That's just how it works. And even if you do, it's probably not going to work long term. That's the truth. That's Papa Bear Tim talking to you the truth, you know. So, yeah, I hope that helped. You know where to reach me if you have questions. Until next time, be well and recognize you are the real SP.